Hello, Nar, and I'm in a bathing suit because I didn't do laundry. So we're gonna have to wait until next week for me to do my punishment because I had no time to do it and I had a bunch of other things that I had to do. Although I was extremely suspicious of you making me do a music-based challenge, as you know I suck at everything musical ever. I haven't been home much since last Saturday because it's been so freaking hot out and we've had to get my little brother ready for camp and we haven't really been grocery shopping, so on top of all of that, I just haven't been home enough to really do anything for the channel. So hopefully this week I'll get that stuff that I wanted to do done. Since tomorrow's the 4th of July, I feel the need to play this music. But you know, that's just me. I did have a couple hours free last night, so I decided to do this. It's a card chain in which you have each individual card stacked against each other at right angles, codependent on the previous card, except for the kingpin card at the very beginning of the structure. I used to be really good at stuff like this. I used to make domino chains out of thousands of Jenga pieces and then set them off, but now I just suck at it. I once saw this YouTube video by the guy who's considered the world's greatest card stacker. He talks about how what he's doing is art. He's creating these crazy structures, it's incredibly beautiful, and he's doing it all with these cards, and it is an art form. But at the same time, it's not the same as other art, because when someone walks up to see one of his structures, there's immediately the reaction, well, what did you do if I knocked that down? But it's not like you'd do that if you walked up to a painter. You wouldn't walk up to Andy Warhol painting and pull out a knife and say, what would you do if I stabbed that canvas? I think this has to do with the separation of art. Now, this is just a theory of mine, but I think there are two different types of art. Art that's meant to be experienced with people, that brings people together under a common experience, that doesn't have too much depth to it, but is incredibly beautiful in its own right and is meant to create community. And then there's the other type of art, which is meant to be experienced individually and thought about in grand academic symposia. For instance, pretty much everyone on Earth has heard of the Mona Lisa, but no art critic has ever been brought together with another art critic because of the Mona Lisa. They've been art critics and they've both decided to work on different opinions about it. But I've known several people who have gone to plays, met someone, and had a friend for life, or worked in a production with someone. I've even had friends I've made based solely on domino chains I made in the 4th grade. These aren't incredibly in-depth things, but they are individual things. I was thinking about this, and then I realized that that's the main gap I've been seeing between the movies and books in Harry Potter Book Club. When I look at the books are individual, deep, academic experiences that you have on a personal scale for hours upon hours at a time. The movies, on the other hand, are meant to be experienced with other people. And I think translating that gap is the thing that ultimately makes the book stories seem better than the movie stories. When doing them individually as a single person, it's not as enjoyable. Then I began to think about how this might be the gap between religions or anything like that, and then I realized that it was way too deep for the card structure that wasn't falling over correctly. So I just stopped. And I started reading. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Well, I sucked at that.